we are back again with Camera's Top Network. Before we get into today's topic, I wanted to speak on the rebranding process of Top Network and give y'all a brief rundown on what we building, what the brand is expanding into, you feel me? Yeah, man. Here at Top Network, we want to bring y'all news, but not just mainstream news, you feel me? We want to be able to cover current events, give you an alternative breakdown of news, give you breakdowns on spirituality, religion, politics, entertainment, history, and so much more. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it's gonna take to get good quality information, entertainment, edutainment, education, whatever you want to classify it as. You feel me? It's gonna be a plethora of things going on right here at Camera's Top Network. So y'all stay tuned for that. Also, we are looking for guests that want to come on, tell these stories about, you know, folklore passed down from the elders, maybe some historical stories that that's not mainstream, or something that's rooted in that involves or could impact people, you know what I'm saying? Just to educate people. We looking for people with stories from paranormal encounters to cryptid encounters, which could possibly be looked at as one and the same. But also we looking for people with motivation and inspirational and also redemption stories to come on and tell y'all story. So if y'all want to be on the platform, you want to tap in with your boy and put out whatever you got, then submit all of that information over to babynubaru13@gmail.com. So yeah, going into today's topic, I'm talking about, you know, the St. Landry Parish school closures. I see 6 schools are planning on closing, or they possibly could be closed. From Growley Elementary to Northeast Elementary, Central Middle, Crot Springs Elementary, Grand Prairie. And to be honest, it's unfortunate, but I can't say that we didn't see this coming. You know what I'm saying? So I know for some parents and teachers, this can be a little, a little transition is what I'm gonna say. A little transitioning period. But nonetheless, man, y'all hold it down, you know what I'm saying? Because this is not the end all be all. This is it's pretty much almost like, I guess, parents gotta revert back to teaching. Which could be a great idea. This is the natural way. This is how it's supposed to be done. Parents should be your first teachers. But in another sense, as I think about it again, it might not be so good for some parents. You feel me? Some parents could use some extra help when it comes down to parent teaching their kids. You feel me? But on another note, man, we got to really look at things for what it is. I always say Louisiana is kind of always behind time on things. And another thing is, hold on, let me not jump right quick. Louisiana is always like 5 to 10 years behind things. I always say that. This story has been building since, I want to say, more recently. It's been building since like 2020, because it's not just a St. Landry Parish thing. This is a Louisiana and nationwide thing. So since 2020, it's been nearly like 100 schools in Louisiana that's closed down. It's just kind of getting to, I guess, St. Landry Parish more aggressively, so to speak, and it's actually happening. But we got to think about this. This is the same school system that didn't want you involved in it in the first place. To my people of my melanated people. Dr. King fought to get us segregated into schools, and now it's closing. Now the schools are closing, like 6 of them are closing. That means the rest of them are still open. And if you can see, it's really like the lower grades, like elementary, and like I say, I see one middle school, maybe the one in Grand Prairie could possibly have like middle school kids over there or whatever the case is. But at the same time, it's more like the the kids. I wouldn't say they would suffer more than the parents. I think the parents and teachers are more so kind of just focused on the transition because it's going to impact some people's income. They're going to have to find something else to do, you know what I'm saying, or go fill out applications for another school. But from my understanding, it was a teacher shortage for a long time, like many years, and this is what they quote unquote saying some of the closures and layoffs are about. But you know, we never know till we really look under the hood at something and see what's going on. We start looking into the inner works of things and how everything is going. You know, with that, I'll probably do a little bit more of a breakdown on that later on as things progress in this situation. But I also think that we seeing a transition in this school system situation. Like this could possibly be going into maybe homeschool in the future or some kind of other system that they want to implement you in. Like if you notice, like we've been going through a lot of transitions with a lot of different economies and markets throughout the last few years. So don't expect nothing different to change with with the school system. You feel me? Like our ancestors, they did well without it. They survived without it. You know, the school system, in my opinion, nowadays, yeah, it teaches kids basic information to go out and to go out into this quote unquote society or world and be able to maneuver. But a lot of the things I learned from school had nothing to do with the classroom. It had more to do with well, yeah, the classroom played a part, but not in the part where of learning what was in those books or learning what those teachers was trying to tell us. Now, granted, yes, I did learn a great bit of things from that, but what I used outside of that probably was more like social. I was placed in schools or more of a social environment. It's kind of a place where parents have a place to put their kids without having to pay daycare or hire babysitters, and the lessons of being around people, being social and doing things in a collective group, uh, quote unquote, learning in a collective group. You know what I'm saying? Those different transitions that you go through whenever you go through the school thing, like that's what I received from it. My positive, like that on a positive note, that was the good things that I received from it. But learning, I feel like I've learned more from the school of life versus the school system. You feel me? I met you also, like I said, it's more of a social experience. Um, so you meet a great bit of people that you grow older with. You know what I'm saying? Some people you grow older with, some people you grow apart from. But you have those experiences and you're able to go back in your filing cabinet of life and you know what I'm saying? Apply that to life if you a real observer or a real a student of life, if you will. You feel me? So yeah, I could take those things from it. But on another note, man, this is not the end all be all. For people that have careers in this school system that may or may not have a problem finding either a school job or a school job, then now is the time to do these other skills that you just been sitting on. You've been kind of holding sitting on your hands for a minute and just letting time pass by without exercising all of your attributes. You know what I'm saying? Right now is the time to do that. So tap back into that bag. Now is the time to start that business that you've been wanting to start all of these years. You know what I'm saying? Start planning ahead to do things like that. Stop putting off. That's all that pretty much means. Yeah. But yeah, man. Shoot. This is a great time. We looking at one of the greatest transfers of wealth happening right now, and you want to be tapped into your bag and making sure you staying sharp. A lot of these teachers in these a lot of the teachers are really sharp people. You know what I'm saying? They are real attentive to things that's going on in the world. So it should be an easy transition. You know, a lot of people that take on the role of becoming a teacher, people that's like actual teachers, they are special. You know what I'm saying? To be out to be able to attain a certain level of information and then apply that to showing some other people. You know, just teaching in general. What comes with it? It's a special type of person that has to be a teacher. You know, anybody just can't go and do that. You know, if you got a calling to be a teacher, you know, that's a special calling. So yeah, man, just keep that in mind. You know, maybe you need to maybe the spirit is calling you. You know, everything is not happening to you. You know, a lot of we got to develop the mindset that things are happening for you. And if you a believer in the spirit, you know, I like to call quote unquote God what people call God the spirit. So if you a believer in the spirit and you got strong faith, then yeah, man, it's time to lock in on that. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to change this mindset of things are happening to you. You know what I'm saying? So these things could be unfolding something and happening for you. So that's just I just wanted to shed a little light on it as well as just talk about the situation. You know, give you an alternative perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, I feel some people need to hear that shit. I need to hear things like this at times. You feel me? So I know it could be useful. So with all of that being said, man, I'm gonna just go ahead and get on out of here. That's my take on it. If y'all got some more information on this, you want to build more on this platform about this subject, you know, if you got more information on projection of where this could possibly be going with actual receipts, then yeah, man, like I said, also if you got your paranormal stories, your spirituality work, you know what I'm saying? Whatever your spiritual work is, religion or whatever things, you got a great perspective on things and you want to talk about some high level information, then holla at me at babynubaru13 at gmail.com and we gonna get back with you and you know, we're gonna build. That's me, Cam Rock, Cam Rock's Top Network, signing out.